Let me ask you a question. First off, what's your name?
Gracie.
Gracie. My name's Dominic. Gracie, I could tell by one, your name and also that cross around your neck, you're a Christian. Um, Gracie, can I ask you a question about the Bible?
Of course.
What does the Bible say, or how does a person get to heaven?
What?
What does the Bible say about how a person gets to heaven?
Like how, like you mean passing away, or like how they are able to go to heaven or hell?
Yeah, I mean, if a person wants to go to heaven, what do they have to do?
Um, well, for me personally,
Well, do you
okay,
think it's different for everyone?
okay, no, well, actually, it depends because if someone is an awful human being and does like awful things, but they are mentally like screwed up, I think that's unfair for them to have to go to hell. Like if it wasn't their like decision to be like that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, like some sort of mental illness or something?
Yeah, I personally think that it shouldn't be based off of like what they've done. It should be based off of what they could have controlled or what they could have like changed. So
Yeah, the Bible says it's based on what they know. That's what
yeah,
Romans 2 says. Yeah, you're touching on
that's
scripture.
that's what I get stuck up on because at the same time it's completely unfair because have you ever met you've probably never met a serial killer, but like a serial killer who had a good childhood, who had a good this. So I think it's sometimes unfair that I think no one should go to hell. Even like the most evil people, I wouldn't wish hell on anyone. So for me personally, I wouldn't want there to even be. So and also I believe in science. So when it comes to heaven and hell, I'm not 100% on that because I am so like science is real, if you know what I'm saying. Like there's also, you know,
Well, let's backtrack a little bit.
yeah.
So, where do you um, where do you think the universe came from? Has it always existed, or did it just pop into existence out of nothing? Since I know you believe in science.
Yes. Okay, this is the exact TikTok debate I was just on. This guy added me to his live and he like he made so much sense because he doesn't believe in God. So he's saying, "Do you believe or no?"
Well, we'll let you decide after the end of this.
Yeah, so he basically said like science is real. How did everything create? And that's where I'm like, okay, we had to come from like evolution. Everything that happened, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't just poof, Adam and Eve whatever came and then ate that, you know? Like I get that. So it is hard, but I do believe that there is like a spiritual being and I think that no matter what if it is real, we should lean on it. You like it's better safe than sorry almost is how I see it. Like if I were to like live my life sinful and like do all these things, that's fine. But I think that it's just better to pick like the best case scenario. You know what I mean? And if I am putting all this work in for that, that's fine because I honestly am I'm having a more restricted life. So since I am like when it comes to God, I'm very disciplined. So I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't well, I do smoke, but real weed. And I think that it comes from the earth. So that's a different thing. Sorry. I'm very ADHD. I'm talking about 300 things. Go ahead.
Well, because
Yeah.
I know you also mentioned like evolution. Now, the thing I ponder evolution a lot because
Yeah.
there is something. It's called evolution requires spontaneous generation. Or so speaking of biogenesis, which is that's just a big word for the beginning of life.
No, I know.
Well, it says that life came from non-life, but the law of spontaneous generation, which is a law of nature, says that that can't happen. So something supernatural, because it could not have been natural by definition, something supernatural would have had to have caused life, and whatever caused life, well,
Wait, wait. So you do believe that it did come from a god, or
I
now
haven't
you've
said that
got?
I believe. I'm just stating scientific principles. So you've deduced yourself that there has to be a God because if something supernatural would have had to have caused life, and life can't come from non-life, then whatever could have created this also has to be one all power. Well, it has to be powerful and knowing enough just to create something intricate as life, and also has to be himself or has to be itself living, since we've established life only comes from other life. So, but wasn't even talking about evolution. I was actually talking about the universe and where that came from.
Yes. Okay. Well, that I don't. quite know.
Well, see, most people will fall under to claiming just to pertain just to just all scientific principles. Usually say it's either always existed or it came into existence out of nothing. So both of these, though, defy science because if it came out of existence from nothing, the first
Yeah.
law of thermodynamics states that energy and matter can't be created or destroyed. They only go back and forth between each other. So if the entire universe is here, it well, it could not have just come into existence out of nothing. But if it's always existed, that also creates a problem according to this second and third law of thermodynamics.
Right.
As well as create a paradox because if it's always been, that means it's eternal, which means.
Wait, I've never thought back this far. Oh my god.
Well, here, I'm so glad because we can't go back this far. The universe can't be an infinite amount of days old because if you think about infinity, there's always one more. If the universe had always existed, then we could have never reached today because infinity says that there's always one more before right now. If we go infinitely backwards, we could never reach right now. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So neither of those could be true. That means that there had to have been a beginning, but everything that has a beginning has to have a cause.
Exactly.
So
oh my god.
What could have caused the entire universe? Because whatever created the universe has to be all powerful, and since they created time, space, matter, and energy, they themselves can't live within time, space, or they have to be eternal, or to be immaterial or spiritual. They have to be all powerful.
Wait, but why don't you think that, like, I obviously don't know like what the universe first came from, so like I can't answer that, but
well,
like
we could deduce from reason though. These are just scientific principles, right? Science itself, because you just said that you believe in science. That's why I'm trying to talk to you about science.
No, yeah, 100%. Anything like I completely, like, that's why I get people are like, oh, why do you believe in like something that's not, you can't see, you've never actually, like, I understand that. I am very like, like I'm and I also would never judge someone's opinion. So even if they were like, fuck God.
You would never judge someone's opinion?
No, never.
What about a Nazi? What about a communist?
If
what about an axe murderer or a child molester? You would never judge someone's opinion?
I physically can't. I I don't know, even if someone does the most like evil thing, my heart just goes to like what happened, like what brought them to this. So I physically cannot feel bad for anyone. Like, no, I can't feel bad. I mean, I can't hate anyone or like judge anyone based off of what they've done. I don't know.
We're all moral agents, right? We're all capable of choosing our decisions. I mean, there's been people who have had terrible lives that grew up in abusive homes and witnessed their parents being murdered, but then they go on just to actually become leaders or people who actually help other people. But then there's also those who see the same thing and then they go on just to do those same heinous crimes. So two people who go through the exact same thing, but it's how you decide just to proceed with that, right? So shouldn't we all?
I do understand that, and also like from my perspective, like me going through so many things and then coming out like this, coming out like fine and coming out positive from it, I don't get how other people are still so negative. So I do understand that, but I still am like, what if I was in their position? Like, what if I was like that and feeling like that? And what if I never did get like the help or support, or like if I was all alone, like how would I feel? So I always just think to like the best case scenario, I guess.
That is. I know you were wearing a cross, and I know even Jesus says, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. But in regards to that, I mean, what would, if somebody was, let's say harmed somebody that you loved, what does that say?
It just says a bunch of, wait. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean on not your own
understanding. Yeah, okay, that's Proverbs 3, 5, and 6.
And there's a bunch of ones on my wall. And then...
Yeah, I was actually wearing the same Bible verse on my wrist.
Oh my gosh!
So that gives my position away. Yes, I'm actually a teacher. I teach the Bible.
Oh my gosh! Wait, this is where I bring to school and read every day. Oh goodness.
Jesus calling. So
yeah.
Let me ask you a question, because Jesus also talked about heaven and hell, but I know you said you don't believe in either of those. Do you
Yes.
believe in
So
Jesus?
what?
So, because I know you believe in Jesus, do you believe just do you believe in what he
Yes.
says as well?
I just because I feel like I am so self-aware of everything. I'm so like I also can't I don't know how to explain this. Wait, hold on. Wait. Like I believe in the spiritualness of him, but I don't believe in like a being. I don't know how to explain it. Like I'm so like science and I know so much about science and like I've always loved science. So like I can't get past the fact that like there is no like physical place. And so I you know what I mean? I don't know. I just think I don't know. And I also don't want to hope that there is one because if I do get there and I am in like hell or like if there is that's why I get scared. I don't want to like even think about it. I feel like I'm like it feels like a sin to me. I don't know. I'm just like I don't want to worry about it or think about it because if it's not real then like
Well,
that's
because you mentioned about like heaven or something that we can't know if it's a real place. But one
yeah.
thing is interesting because if God did create the universe, that means well he would have had to exist before the universe, right? So where did he
Yeah.
exist at? Where was he? So clearly there has to be somewhere else besides this universe. And
Right.
God
No,
also exists eternally. Oh man, we were having such